Hello guys, my name is Troy. Welcome to day 2 of Bookmas here on my channel, Troy Reads. I'm so excited. Thanks for all your support on day 1. Today I'm going to be going over all the books on my Christmas wish list. And I have 17 books on my Christmas wish list because I got a little bit carried away, but like, that's okay. We're gonna go through all of those. I have some sequels, mostly new books that I haven't read because usually like in Christmas I want to be kind of like surprised. So yeah, let's get on with the video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and let's get started. Alrighty guys, so first up we have got Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody, and this is a really fun book that I've been looking forward to reading for a while now. It's been on my TBR for over a year, May 31st, 2019. So it's been a while since I had it on my TBR. I love the cover, and I think it has something to do with like casinos and like gambling a little bit. And like the description says, "Welcome to the city of sin, where casino families reign, gangs infest the streets, and secrets hide in every shadow." It just sounds really, really cool, and I'm so interested in reading it. The next book I have on my wish list is Sorcerer of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I think I also added this as want to read on May 31st, 2019. So yeah, it's actually not that recent, but I've been wanting to read this for a while. I tried the audiobook version of it, but the narrator was just kind of like not really great, so I'm gonna try to have the physical book, and it looks really, really cool. I think it's about this like ancient book and like this kind of like a magical fantasy within like these libraries and like these little weird book power things, and it just looks really, really cool. Like, all sorcerers are evil. Elizabeth has known that as long as she has known everything. Raised as a foundling in one of Ostermere's great libraries, Elizabeth has grown up among the tools of sorcery. Alrighty, the next one is Bloodleaf by Crystal Smith, and I also marked this as to read on May 31st, 2019. I guess that day I was just looking at books and marking everything I want to read. But Bloodleaf by Crystal Smith I think is also another fantasy. Aurelia is a princess, but they call her a witch. Surrounded by spirits and burdened with forbidden magic, she lives in constant fear of discovery by the witch hunting tribunal and the bloodthirsty mobs. When a devastating assassination attempt reveals her magical abilities, Aurelia is forced to flee her country with nothing but her life. So this seems really, really cool. Like a princess with like hidden magical powers that have the ability to destroy, you know, everything, and like just to flee her country and her home and the safety of like being a princess. I think that's going to be really, really interesting to explore. The next book that I have is Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman, and this is the first sequel on my list. It is the second book to The Scythe, which I have right here. So this is the first book. I really, really enjoyed it. This was a favorite of the year for sure. I read this in February. It was 5 stars. It was so freaking good. So I want to read the second book. I really don't know where the series or like where these books could keep going. Alrighty, next up we have got The Final Empire, which is the first book in the Mistborn series. I also marked this as to want to read on May 31st, 2019. What was I doing on May 31st, 2019? Okay, anyways, this is a Brandon Sanderson book, which I am trying to get into. The Mistborn series seems really, really cool. For 1,000 years, the ash fell and no flowers bloomed. For 1,000 years, the Ska slaved in misery and lived in fear. For 1,000 years, the Lord Ruler, the Silver of Infinity, reigned with absolute power and ultimate terror, divinely invincible. Then, when hope was so long lost that not even its memory remained, a terribly scarred, heartbroken half-Ska rediscovered it in the depths of the Lord Ruler's most hellish prison. I don't know, that sounds really interesting and intriguing, and I think there's like some sort of like chemical stuff to it too. Like I feel like there's like a myth that was like deadly or something. I don't know. So the next up we have got Strange the Dreamer by Lonnie Taylor. I have been wanting to read this for a while. I've had it on my like Libby TBR for a while, but I want to kind of read it in person. But this is an extremely popular book. It has like 86,000 ratings on Goodreads, but this is about a person named Laszlo Strange, war orphan and junior librarian, has always feared that his dream chose poorly. Since he was 5 years old, he's been obsessed with the mythic lost city of Weep, but it would take someone bolder than he to cross half the world in search of it. So yeah, this seems like another cool like fantasy journey-ish kind of book, adventure, a little bit of like an ancient lost myth kind of action, which I'm so down for. The next book that I asked for is A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kimmerer, which is the second book in the A Curse So Dark and Lonely series. And I want this book because I love the first book. First of all, I want to read the sequel because it ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, and this third book comes out in like early 2021. So if I want to be able to kind of catch up before that release, I need to read the first book again. Then I want to read the second book, A Heart So Fierce and Broken. Then I need to read the third book. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there. Next up, we've got Legend by Mary Lou, and I read Warcross by Mary Lou and Wildcard by Mary Lou, and it was like I finally read one series by her because I wanted to read from her so much. She's a really popular author, and she's known for just her amazing writing, and I totally vouch for that because when I read Wildcard and Warcross, her writing was amazing. I love the world, I love the sci-fi element, so I'm looking to see about her other series, and so I want to read Legend by Mary Lou. I don't know much about it, but I'm just kind of ready to dive into a whole new world by her, honestly. Next up, we have got Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas, and ooh, I actually am about to read that on audiobook, so I don't know, because I started my loan on Cemetery Boys, but this is a extremely hyped book in the book community. I've been seeing it everywhere. I've been seeing so many people raving about it. It was released maybe like last month or something, and already has 10,000 ratings on Goodreads. So, but this is basically a ghost story with a trans boy trying to like prove himself, which I really liked in Stay Gold, with our trans boy Pony, who had to prove himself to his family and stuff. So that was really interesting, and I'm excited to see more of that because I really need to get more books with like trans characters. And then the next one I have is The Diviners by Libba Bray. I've seen a lot of people talk about this. Mainly it was like Emma books when I first saw it, but this is a really cool, like, I'm pretty sure it's like a historical fiction series. Evie O'Neill has been exiled from her boring old hometown and shipped off to the bustling streets of New York City, and she is positively ecstatic. It's 1926 and New York is filled with speakeasies, Ziegfeld girls, and rakish pickpockets. The only catch is that she has to live with her Uncle Will and his unhealthy obsession with the occult. So yeah, it's like a historical fiction, and I'm excited for it. Next up, we have got The Vanishing Star by Maureen Johnson, which is the second book in the Truly Devious series by Maureen Johnson, and I read the first book. I loved it. It was a total 5 stars for me. I had this amazing review, like 3-paragraph long review about how I loved it, how I love the diverse characters, the dual plot line, and just like the total obsessionness of this book. I love the mystery, and I love how we're able to weave in mysteries from the present and the past, and we still haven't figured out the mystery from the past, but we're working towards it. I just love the series as a whole, and I cannot wait to keep going with it, so I really hope to get the second book in the series because I got this for Christmas last year. Alright, next up we've got The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and I'm also reading this month on audiobook. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern is going to be my second book by Erin Morgenstern. I read The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, and it was so freaking good, so I'm really excited to read The Night Circus. I know it's about like a circus, and there's like dark magicians and like good magicians, and they're kind of trying to like fight each other, and like I think there's like 2 brothers that are like trying to fight with magic or something, so I'm really excited. Next up, we've got Legendborn by Tracy Dion, and I kind of was just like, I saw it somewhere on like Twitter, and I was like, that looks really, really good. Like that was like one of the last books I put on this list, but it just looks really, really cool. Like look at the cover, like that's a good cover. So, filled with mystery and an intriguingly rich magic system, Tracy Dion's young adult contemporary fantasy, Legendborn offers the dark allure of City of Bones with a modern day twist on a classic legend and a lot of southern black girl magic. Hey, that sounds really, really good. Yeah, I'm not gonna look too much into it because I want it to be a surprise, like if I do get it, but it looks really, really cool. Next up, we've got Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa, and this, I think, is an Asian fantasy, which I'm really, really excited for. I tried to read this in August, but then I think I got too swamped, and I wasn't able to pick it up. But I've been wanting to read this forever, and I'm pretty sure it's, like, about this girl who has to, like, go and discover, like, magical artifacts or something like that, like, along the lines, like, magical scrolls. And once you have all 3 magical scrolls, you can control the world or something, and it's, like, a series. So I think it's really, really cool. I want to read this so bad. Alrighty, next up we have got The Wicked King by Holly Black, and that is the second book in the Cruel Prince series, and I don't know. For some reason, I feel like I liked this series, and at the same time, I didn't like this series. Like, I feel like I loved it when I was reading it, but after my afterthought, I kind of had a bad taste in my mouth, if that makes sense. So I don't know how interested I am now to read the second book, but like, still, I think I need to finish the series because I did enjoy it. I think it did have a good twist at the end, and I'm excited to see where the story keeps going. There's something about this book that didn't make me fall in love with it, but I hope the other books are better. Okay, next up, we have got Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, and this is a story all about, like, it's like a division. There's like 2 sides of like this town or this world. There are like the blue bloods and like the red bloods or something, or the silver bloods. I don't know. There's 2 types of bloods, and depending on the color blood that you have, like it determines your role in society and like your rank, and it's like something you're born with. So we're getting into like a story again about like these injustices, and I'm pretty sure it's about like a rebel, like the lower class bloods. Like there's our main character is in that class, and she's like a rebel against like the greater greater bloods or the greater people that like have the better blood. Next up we've got The Raven Boys by Maggie. I cannot say that, by Maggie, and it's a really hyped series. It's really popular. Let's go read the summary. There are only 2 reasons a non-seer would see a spirit on St. Mark's Eve, Neve said. Either you're his true love or you killed him. It is freezing in the churchyard even before the dead arrive. Every year, Blue Sergeant stands next to his clairvoyant mother as the soon-to-be dead walk past. Blue never sees them, not until this year, when a boy emerges from the dark and speaks directly to her. Kind of like the City of Bones Cassandra Clare vibe, where a girl that doesn't see this magical world in this like secret world, she finally sees them and then she gets kind of enveloped in their world. Next up, I've got Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Raschek or something. I don't know. And this is the last book of today. And yeah, we're gonna read the summary of this one. But this has a really, really pretty cover. I've been wanting to read this since February 13th, 2019. This is a very early book on my TBR. A heartbroken girl, a fierce warrior, a hero in the making. 16 years ago, the Kingdom of Winter was conquered and its citizens enslaved, leaving them without magic or a monarch. Now the Winterians' only hope for freedom is the 8 survivors who managed to escape and who have been waiting for the opportunity to steal back Winter's magic and rebuild the kingdom ever since. So this sounds like another cool, like, high fantasy, kind of like almost a little bit like Game of Thrones vibes, as well as like Aragon vibes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I was trying to be quick as possible because I had like a lot of books on my Christmas wish list, and yeah, I am so excited to see which books I get because I am pretty sure my mom will pick off that list, hopefully, or else there's no point in that list. So yeah, also dig in the hat still, and oh, I forgot to make hot chocolate today. Anyways, we'll do that tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe down below for more content, and also make sure to leave a comment down below with what books you have on your Christmas wish list. I will be responding to the first hour or so of comments, although I probably will be responding to more if I feel like it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching Bookmas Day 2. I will see you tomorrow for Bookmas Day 3. I will catch you guys later. See ya, bye!